Okay, everyone. So I believe I'm audible and visible, guys. So please ping me in a chat if I'm audible and visible to all of you guys. Yeah. Okay. So I'm audible and visible. Fine. So fine, everyone. Good afternoon, and let's start with the class. So in today's class, I'll be talking about a couple of AWS services. Plus, we'll try to even do a practical, basically. So let me share my screen, and yeah. So I believe my screen is visible to all of you. So here, let me open up a chapter. So we are going to go through this particular chapter now. So basically AWS for generative AI application. So maybe building an agent, building maybe a RG pipeline. So how we can try to leverage AWS infrastructure, and how we'll be able to build something so which is going to work inside AWS ecosystem. So as we all know that AWS provides you a vast kind of a services. So inside AWS, you will be able to find out Lambda services. You will be able to find out SageMaker. There is something called as Bedrock. You will be able to find out. There is something called as OpenSearch. You all will be able to find out. So there are so many things which is already available. If you would like to, use those pre-built things, and based on that, if I would like to build maybe a RG system, maybe some sort of a single agentic system or a multiple agentic system, if I would like to build, if I have to build maybe a guardrails. So each and everything, right? Each and everything is possible even inside a AWS ecosystem itself, and that too in an automated mode. Again, so you don't have to be a pro with AWS. This is something that we'll try to understand. This is something that we'll try to learn. So one by one, let's try to basically understand a couple of services first of all, and then we can derive the use cases, and then we can start building it. Yeah, fine, everyone. So shall we start exploring some of the AWS services and then building it? Yeah. Okay. So a very first service which I would like to talk about is called as AWS Bedrock. Now, let me give you, and we'll do a practical as well. So don't worry. Bedrock. So if you are going to search inside the AWS console, you will be able to find out a service called as Amazon Bedrock. Again, it's a very amazing services that AWS has built specifically for a generative AI application. And as we all know that inside a Gen AI application, LLM comes into picture. Yeah. So it's available inside AWS Bedrock. We have to build our agents. It's available inside Bedrock. We have to basically build a RAG pipeline. It's already available inside a Bedrock. We have to build a knowledge base, by the way. So that is also available over here. We have to build basically a guardrails around an agent or a workflow that we are going to create with respect to an agentic system. That is also available over here. If I have to build basically a multi-agentic system, so where agents are going to communicate between each and everyone, right? That is also available over here. So AWS Bedrock is technically an ecosystem, so which is going to help us out in terms of building each and everything. And then there are other services as well. And even without using this AWS Bedrock services, or maybe just by using a couple of things from AWS Bedrock and by using other services, I will be able to build end-to-end pipeline. But yeah, if I just have to use AWS Bedrock, that is also possible. So now let me give you an overview about this AWS Bedrock, which we are going to use it. And then there is something called as OpenSearch. There is something called as S3 bucket for data warehousing, you can say. So we'll be using all of these surrounding services to build one beautiful application, a very simple, cute kind of application. We are going to build it, which is actually going to work, right? So yeah. Now, if you'll come here inside this discovery tab of AWS, so you will be able to see something called as model catalog. Now, so there are so many model provider out there, right? So basically, there is something called as Open Router. There is something called as even Olama. So where you will be able to see a lot of models. So again, Yuri, right? So where you will be able to find out a multiple model. So similarly, even inside Amazon Bedrock, you will be able to find out a tons of model, and that too in a different category. In a text category, 118 model is available. Text vision, so again model is available. For embedding, models is available. Multi-model is also available. Audio model is also available. Tabular model is also available. But again, so many of the latest model, right, a proprietary model, I would say, you will not be able to find out immediately inside a Bedrock. Again, that's a problem, right? Because AWS is one of the organization, and then like if some other organization has built something, so just to make it available, if it is a proprietary model, so obviously they have to do a tie-up and they have to do an agreement, and because of that, those latest model you will not be able to find out. And as per my experience, right, as per my experience, so even the latest all open source model you will not be able to find out over here immediately, right? Maybe in a later stage they keep on adding a models. Similarly like a URI, I would say, right? URI model ecosystem. So even we keep on adding a models as soon as like we get to know about it, or as soon as it will be available as an open source or maybe as a proprietary one. In the similar manner, obviously AWS try to manage this entire model catalog. So as of now there are like 204 models which is available. Some of them are like a old one, some of them are like a latest one as well. For example, so with respect to a Claude, right? Claude, you will be able to find out some latest model. Opus 4.6 is available, Sonnet 4.6 is available. But if I'll talk about a Google model, right? So from Google side, you will be able to find out only these three models: Gamma 3, Gamma 327 billion, Gamma 3 4 billion parameter, which is like a very old model, I would say, right? Again, it's a text generation based model, so there is no embedding model. Or yesterday we were talking about a Gemini embedding 2, right? It's not available here. Yeah, like I said, so it depends, right? Depends. So yeah, but yes, they have a very good category of the model, and if you have to use any Anthropic model for the very first time, so you have to basically submit a couple of details that why you're going to use it, because it's a costly model, right? And maybe they have some sort of an internal agreement with the Anthropic, because Anthropic is providing a proprietary model, not an open source one. So that will not be available immediately. That's one of the problem which I see with respect to a model catalog. So maybe you have to get those model from somewhere like else, or maybe like those who have already like those who are maintaining and managing and creating those models. So maybe you can try to consume those models via API key from there itself. So this is a model catalog. So I will be able to access it with the help of IAM credential. With a proper privilege, and yeah, I will be able to access these model even via API key. I can create it and then I can consume those models. So yeah, just like using any other model so far that we have been doing, right? So in the similar manner, you will be able to use a particular model. Now, this is a model catalog. Now here, if you'll come to this build part, right? So then you will be able to see all the Gen AI based things. For example, agent, flow, and then knowledge base, and then guardrail, and then prompt management, and then data automation. So all of these pre-built services are available over here. And if I'll go and click on this agent part, so again, building an agent over here is like similar to, I would say, building any kind of an agent, even with the help of coding and all, right? So where we try to go and we try to give an agent description, we try to, check a particular model. So which model my agent is going to use, because if there is an agent I'm building, obviously it needs a LLM access, right? And then I have to do all those setting, a knowledge base, memory I have to set over here. I have to set a guardrails over here. I have to set all this orchestration, multi-model agent collaboration. If I'm going to enable it, then I can do it. And then that particular agent will be created, and maybe you can test it inside this particular test playground. Yeah. So you can maybe chat with the model, and then you can check whether your model is able to give, or your agent is working or not, it is able to give you a good response or not. Similarly, so you can build a complete agentic flow over here. If you have to build just a knowledge base, so you can try to build a complete knowledge base over here. So eventually knowledge base means it is going to store everything inside a vector DB, right? And then based on like a similarity search, so it is going to give you a final result. And then you can try to even run a re-ranking on top of it if it is required. As simple as that. So there is a knowledge base option which is available to me. Guardrails, right? So I believe we have already like talked about a guardrails. We have even built a guardrails. So basically it's a kind of an instruction that goes to an agent not to hallucinate or not to and again, like a policy label guardrails, input label guardrails, output label guardrails. So on each and every layer, we try to implement a guardrail. We have already gone through those classes and in a manual manner. So we have already built it, right? A layer by layer, multi-layer guardrails, we have already built it. So even over here, with the help of click, 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 you will be able to build a guardrails so that, it will be able to filter out on each and every layer. Wherever you are going to apply whatsoever a guardrail basically Plus you can do a prompt management over here. You can do a data automation over here. So these are the services technically provided or basically configured by AWS Bedrock. Mostly I use, if it is required, right? So mostly I use this model catalog from AWS Bedrock, and majority of time I prefer to build an agent by using open source libraries and tool, LangChain, LangGraph, LangFlow, or like Autogen and all those things. Generally I prefer to use, right? If I have to consume a model, so maybe I can come over here and then I can try to consume. Although Bedrock is not just about providing a models, but yeah, building the entire ecosystem. But somehow, I mean, like it's my choice. But let's say if your customer is forcing you to do each and everything inside AWS ecosystem, obviously you have to go and you have to do each and everything inside AWS ecosystem itself, which is again practically possible to build it, to automate it, so that everything will be like up and running automatically. So this is just a holistic overview about AWS Bedrock. Fine. Yes, everyone. Someone is saying that screen is visible. I believe my screen is visible to everyone. Okay. Now, so this is AWS Bedrock. Now there is another service you will be able to find out, and yeah, so by default it will not be visible. You have to spin it first of all. So there is something called as OpenSearch. OpenSearch. Yeah. So AWS Amazon OpenSearch service. Now what it does basically, so it behaves like a vector database, or not just behave like a database. It is actually a database specifically created, or you can say designed to perform a search operation, a heavy string based search operation. So basically this OpenSearch that we are talking about, so it can help you out even in terms of doing a keyword search in a very, very efficient manner. It does the indexing internally in that particular manner. Or this OpenSearch can even accommodate a embedding based search, which can be done by any vector databases, right? So this is where this OpenSearch managed service comes into a picture. So you are not supposed to worry much about creating, maintaining, or managing a vector database. You can just come over here. You can create your indexes or domain, we say, right? So in case of like a OpenSearch, so we try to call it as a domain. So I can try to create my domain. It will be giving me a URL, right? I can go and I can try to log in into that URL. And after login, for example, I have already created one demo application, right? So here you will be able to find out OpenSearch dashboard URL. Don't worry, we'll be creating again. So I have created this just to give you a heads up, but yeah, I will be creating once again. So here you will be able to see a OpenSearch dashboard URL. And if I'm going to click over here, it is going to give me a login. I have already logged in. So now this is a dashboard. Once you are going to spin this OpenSearch services. So technically it is going to take a EC2 machine as per your guidelines. So maybe a macro, maybe like a small, whatever, or maybe a large instance, whatever instances you are going to spin. And then it is going to do an entire setup for your project. Very, very simple. It is going to do an entire setup for your particular project. And then here inside this OpenSearch dashboard, you will be able to see a lot many things. And there is a tab called as Dev Tool in a very last management section. So where you can go and you can try to write a query about your indexes. You can try to perform a search operation about your indexes. And yes, based on the keyword search or based on the vector search, basically, or semantic search, it is going to pop up the result. Very, very simple. So we have already used a Pinecone or Bayviet or maybe a PG vector DB or maybe a MongoDB vector or maybe like a Farsi or maybe like a Chroma DB. You can think in a similar manner. So OpenSearch was the service which was technically designed to make a search with a very, very huge volume of the data in an efficient manner. And again, not just embedding. So it supports basically a keyword matching search. It supports a embedding based search, and it supports hybrid as well. Hybrid means keyword plus embedding. So it is going to consider both the factor, and then it will be able to give you the final search. You can try to use basically this vector DB for basically like a storing or in an embedding format. So for processing your PDF document, your text document, your images, your videos, your audio. Yeah. So this is just going to store the information, store the data. It is not going to do anything else, by the way. Maybe I can write one query and I can show it to you. And then we are going to build it. Yeah. So we are going to build it as well. So as of now, it is showing me all the indexes. So basically, there is an index which I have created called as RAG document. So here, and I'm trying to store some sort of a document inside this particular index. So maybe we can, try to get some sort of a document. So let me get all the document, and yeah, so it takes this get kind of a command. So this is my document or index, you can say, and then I'm trying to do a whole search. If I'm going to click, so it is going to give me all of my data set which is available inside my OpenSearch. Yeah. So as you can see, it is giving me all my data set. So what was the data set, what was the actual text over there, and the embedding that it has stored for that particular data set. So it is giving me all this information with respect to all of my data set which I have stored in a particular indexes. So basically RAG document index which I have created, and I have basically stored that inside it. So this is how, I mean, like you will not be able to find out much of differences with respect to any vector DB that we have used, and if you are going to use a OpenSearch inside a AWS ecosystem. But yeah, I mean, like all these things that we are discussing, so it's with respect to a AWS. Yes. So it looks like similar to Elasticsearch. Technically, it is a Elasticsearch in a backend, right? So when I say a keyword search, so technically it is implementing that in a backend. So this is where this OpenSearch, like, service AWS has created. And then when we have started, when entire market has started talking about a vector DB, so they have integrated that feature as well. So technically it was designed for a keyword search, technically Elasticsearch, and then eventually a vector search as well, right? So this is how this OpenSearch is going to work basically. So this is a second service, right? So the first service was Bedrock, right? Second service is basically Elasticsearch, OpenSearch, right? So OpenSearch, and the third service you will be able to find out, there is something called as AWS SageMaker. Now all of the services revolves around an AI basically. So there is something called as AWS SageMaker. And yeah, so this is my SageMaker dashboard basically. So what SageMaker does in general, again, it's a big service used by many organizations, many people, and their production, a lot of like their production is running over there. So generally, when we are talking about, building a machine learning model, or maybe training a model by using a GPUs, fine tuning a model by using a GPUs, so obviously we have to go through a lot of layers. For example, so if I have to, train some sort of a models, so in general, right? In general, so we have to go through a data preparation, part number one. Second is infrastructure setup. We have to do GPU, CPUs, whatever it is, right? Then we have to build a training pipeline on top of that. Then we have to do like after doing a training pipeline, we'll do a training, and then hyperparameter tuning, we'll have to do it, right? Then we have to take care of a model deployment, a model versioning. Then we have to take care of monitoring and scaling. I mean, like complete ML ops, you can say, right? Or in case of a LLM, a complete LLM ops we'll have to take care of, right? Now, this is a problem. This SageMaker is solving it on a AWS, right? So what SageMaker does, it has given you all of these automated pipeline, basically, right? So you can ingest files over here, data, you can maintain and manage connections. So data wise, you will be able to pull a data from anywhere, right? From anywhere. If you want, you can pull it. Again, you can try to establish or create a connection in between. You can spin a notebook over here. You can even design a workflow over here. There is a query editor, so where you can go and write queries, and then like in a notebook format, in a SQL format, you will be able to write it down, as you can see. So it is supporting this Athena SQL. And then you will be able to even like build a complete ETL pipeline in a visual manner by connecting things, right? So create a job and then a kind of drag and drop, right? So this is one services, and with this service I can configure it, and then I can attach it with the other services. So complete ETL pipeline, I will be able to build it just by doing a visualization and configuring it without writing any sort of a code over here. Data processing job, so I will be able to even like schedule all of those jobs, just like we schedule a cron job, or maybe we try to use maybe some other tool over here. Then even a model, I will be able to use it, or I will be able to even build it. Even I will be able to like, use all of these providers. So from OpenAI 10 model, 70, 339, from Hugging Face. So all of these models, I will be able to consume it. Complete ML for pipeline, I will be able to build it. I will be able to do a training of the job, inferencing endpoint. So all of these things are available in one single dashboard. So you don't have to go anywhere. You can like come over here, and then you can maintain and manage it, everything on AWS infrastructure. As simple as that. And then you can try to connect with any system out there. Obviously it supports. And yeah, so full scale ETL pipeline or ML pipeline or ML ops, you all, or ML flow, you all will be able to build it. So where starting from your like, data preparation, infrastructure, training, or maybe hyperparameter, model deployment, monitoring and scaling, everything will be handled by a SageMaker service itself. Yeah. So that's the overall idea with respect to this Amazon SageMaker, right? Now, what we can do, so we can try to, do some sort of experimentation. We can try to build a small pipeline, maybe with the help of this Bedrock and maybe OpenSearch and S3. S3 is basically bucket, right? Simple storage services. And maybe we can, try to test it basically. So I have done one application, right? So the application is what? So application says that you can bring your own data, load it. Now, once data will be loaded, it will go to OpenSearch, obviously. And again, so when we are sending a data to an OpenSearch, basically, which is a vector database, you can say, technically like a search database. So before that, we have to use a embedding model. So we will be using embedding model from Bedrock, let's say. Yeah. So Bedrock from AWS ecosystem itself, we can use our embedding models, and we can use even a LLM. So obviously in case of RAG, so we have to use our LLMs as well. Whenever we'll get a response, whenever we'll get an output. So obviously we have to process those output, and then I can showcase to the user, right? In between, we can try to apply even a re-ranking, right? We can try to apply a custom re-ranking, maybe like a 30% re-ranking can be done with the help of keyword, and then 70% with the help of semantic. It will try to re-rank all the information which I'm going to get it from a RAG system. So all of these things we can try to implement it. And this is a demo which I have built, but again, we are going to build it very quickly. So let me design a flow first of all, what we are going to do, so that things will be pretty much clear to all of us, right? So let's say, basically I have a knowledge base, right? I have a knowledge base, and I will be dealing with the text, like I said. So you can deal with, because at the end of the day, OpenSearch is a vector DB. So I can try to store audio, video, I can store images, I can store a text, or I can process the entire PDF. It majorly depends upon the embedding model that you are using. And I believe that part is pretty much clear. We have already seen that there is one model and it is doing everything, right? Otherwise, you will have to use a different model for video, for audio, for like, images, for PDFs. So again, now we have a solution for that one, that we have already seen, that we have already tested it. Now here, what we will do, so let's say I have a data, right? I have a knowledge base. I have a knowledge base about my company's policy, let's say, right? So I have a knowledge base, and I would like to process that entire knowledge base basically. And the flow is going to be, so let's say I have a data KB knowledge base, right? So I will try to push this particular data into S3 bucket first of all in AWS, right? Because S3 is a data warehouse. I can store any kind of a file. I can store any kind of a data over there in a raw format basically. So whatever knowledge base I will be having, because there is a possibility, there is a very high chance that my knowledge base will keep on increasing. For example, if I'm talking about a legals, right? So legal cases, maybe civil cases. So obviously there will be a lot of like a case studies which will happen. There will be a lot of verdicts, and eventually that data set will be like keep on updating. This data set will keep on increasing on a daily basis. I'm talking about that kind of a knowledge base which is growing in nature, right? Continuously. So what I will do, I can give a interface to my user, right? So let's say there is a person who is maintaining and managing the entire legal system, let's say, right? Or policy, that person is going to maintain and manage. So I can basically give a user interface by which, right? So by which this knowledge base can be pushed, right? So with the help of this UI interface, this knowledge base can be pushed where it will be pushed inside a S3 bucket, where it is going to hold raw information, right? It will be able to hold a raw information. And again, it's a serverless, so there is no limit to it. And as per that, it is going to charge, right? I will be able to get a monthly charges from AWS. Now, once data will arrive here inside a S3 bucket, right? Then what it is supposed to do? So then it is supposed to process this particular data, a newly arrived data. It should not process all the data. So because let's suppose we have a 10,000 of file. So I don't want my system to process those 10,000 file and create an index again and again, right? Because again, it will be a waste of my resources, and even my index will be like become a piece of junk, right? So in an incremental manner, basically, so whenever data will arrive, so it should keep on checking it. And once data will arrive, and if file is new, maybe we can write a file like a comparison logic as well, based on the name as well as based on the content. Or let's say in a first phase, based on the name, we can try to write it down. So if file is new, right? If file is new, if that file is not been processed, so what it will do? So it will try to pick my file from S3 bucket, and then it is going to process it, right? It is going to technically process it, and process in terms of what? So it is supposed to understand the file, and then it is supposed to convert those files into embeddings. Obviously by maintaining all kind of a meta information, which is going to help me to do a better search, right? So all this meta information, citation, it should keep each and everything. So here, again, bedrock embedding model will come into picture. So I will be using a model from where? I will be using a model from AWS Bedrock itself, embedding model, so that it will pick, and obviously there will be a middle layer, so which is going to do a file comparison and all those things, which is going to take care of those like a ETL kind of a part, you can say. So it will be using a AWS Bedrock, convert that into a proper embedding, right? This knowledge base, process it, and then it should store this information into OpenSearch AWS. So this is like this pipeline is going to basically host my data, or it is going to help me out in terms of persisting my data inside a OpenSearch in a embedding format, obviously, right? In an embedding format. Like I said, initially I will be dealing with the text, text. So once data will be persisted over here, right? Now data is available inside a OpenSearch. Then again, I can give a user interface to a user. So this is one user interface for data processing, right? Now there will be another user interface, or you can say a chat kind of an interface, where anyone can come and anyone can start writing their query, right? Anyone can start writing their query. Now by the time someone is going to send a query, so this query will basically go into again embedding model from AWS, and eventually this query will be converted into a embeddings, right? A vector space it will be converted into, and then it is going to hit us it is going to search into AWS OpenSearch, where my data is already stored. Once I will be able to retrieve it, right? So maybe I can try to write a small re-ranker over here. Once it will be done, so this data, this information will be passed to a LLMs. So LLM is going to, fine tune or polished my final output, and then my user will be eventually able to see the final output inside their dashboard, right? Or inside their chatting interface, they will be able to see the output, comparison, citation, original source of a document, each and everything, they will be able to see it. That, okay, so this information was available in this document, in this particular page, whatsoever it is, right? So my user will be able to see it. So this is going to be my data processing pipeline, and this is going to be my final production line. So where anyone can come and anyone will be able to chat with it. And here from AWS services, I will be using a bedrock, right? In terms of embedding model, in terms of getting a LLMs, basically in both the terms, because I'm using two models over here, right? One for embedding, one for LLM. And from AWS, we are going to use basically this OpenSearch. So where I'm holding my data, by the way, right? And yeah, so in AWS, I'm holding this raw data as well. So I will be using a S3 bucket. So these are the two pipelines I have to create. So means technically even UI sidewise, so there will be two interface. So anyone, any non-tech person or anyone who would like to use this system, they can simply come, go to UI, upload the data. Now it will be like uploaded inside the S3 bucket, then eventually indexed into a knowledge base or OpenSearch, right? And then after that, anyone can come and anyone will be able to chat with the system. They will be able to see all the meta information, matchings, and then citations, everything they will be able to see it. Is it making sense, guys, to all of us? So where we are using what kind of a services and what pipeline we are talking about in terms of building it? Yes? Yeah? So now shall we go ahead and build it? Yes, everyone? Okay, so let's build it. All the services coming from AWS itself. Yeah, so all the services system will be running in my local. In a later stage, you can host it on AWS itself. That's completely fine. But yes, even during a local testing, everything should come from AWS. For my S3, my bedrock model catalog basically, and my OpenSearch, everything should be like coming from the AWS itself. As simple as that. And let's say we are going to build it for a legal RAG. We are going to build it, let's say, right? Legal. Okay. So now let's go ahead and let me open up my VS Code. And legal RAG with AWS. So I think in next 20 minute max to max, 20 to 25 minutes, we'll be able to build this system, right? I think that is the time that it should take in general. If my instructions are clear, right? Instructions are clear, max to max 20-25 minutes, right? And everything will be up and running. I'm assuming that, right? Maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes more or less. But to build the system, I believe that is the only time that it should take. It should not take more than that, right? For such system, what will be the AWS cost for a month? I mean, like, see, that depends upon which machine you are going to spin. See, there will be three costs over here, right? If you'll talk about the costing part, there will be three costs, right? One is a S3 bucket cost for data storage, right? So again, it's a serverless. I mean, like you can load an infinite amount of the data, and you can go and check the S3 pricing over there, right? It will be able to give you. Even we'll calculate it, right? We'll calculate it. So as your file will grow, obviously this cost is going to grow. As simple as that. But yes, it is a very cheap service, by the way, from AWS. Then there will be like a cost which will come from AWS Bedrock. It's for inferencing and embedding. Yeah. So LLM, you are going to use it for text, and LLM, you are going to use it for embeddings. So if your files are growing, so obviously your Bedrock embedding model will be consumed more and more. So as per the number of file and size of the file, obviously the data which is there inside the file. So we'll try to process it. So with respect to that, obviously it is going to consume it. Yeah. So the second cost over here. Third cost is OpenSearch, where we are holding the data. So again, as our data set is growing, but yeah, in case of OpenSearch, so you can try to choose an instance. For example, I'll be using maybe a T3 micro instance, which is like going to give me 400, 500 rupees of cost in a month of time, right? And obviously, if my data will grow beyond that, right, beyond that capacity in terms of processing and storing both, then obviously I have to spin a more and more number of machines, and eventually my cost will grow over there. So there are three costs, and everything depends upon the data, and you can calculate it even with the certainty. You can calculate it, right? That okay, for this much of data, this is the embedding cost. This is the and let's suppose this many number of users. So again over here, right? Every time it will consume an embedding model with every query, and LLMs it is going to consume even in terms of inferencing. So when user will come and they will try to ask some sort of a questions, so again there will be a cost. Cost will come here, cost will come here, and again cost will come in a search operation, because I'm like that is the fixed instance, right? So obviously it is up and running, so it doesn't matter whether someone is going to come or not. You will get a cost. Very, very simple, right? You will get a cost. You are Mandark the magician. I am not able to understand the middle word, Saurabh, but yeah, I'm able to understand the whole context. So I believe costing wise, it's fine. We'll try to do rough estimation as well for a costing. Okay, so let me launch my Claude in a dangerously skip permission mode. Dangerously skip permissions. Alloy skip permission. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So now, Mandark was the comic book hero like a phantom etc. Oh, I was not aware about it. Okay, so let's first of all build a Claude MD over here, right? Let's give all the instruction for both the pipelines that we have to set and we have to maintain, and then we'll start building it, right? So that should be like a proper way of building things. We'll try to keep UI interface very, very simple, so we'll not work much on UI interface. Simple HTML, CSS, and JavaScript we can try to keep it, yeah, so that it will be very lightweighted. And rest of the things we have to consume it from AWS itself. So we'll try to automate that particular part. So we just need a IAM access. Apart from that, nothing is required. Everything will be set and done by system itself. Okay. So let's start creating this Claude MD file. So basically I'm trying to build a legal RG system. Okay, RAG, not RG. With the help of all kind of, not all kind, I mean with the help of AWS services like AWS Bedrock, AWS OpenSearch, AWS S3. So there should be a two pipeline. So one pipeline for processing a data. So it will start from a UI interface. So let's suppose a legal team will come. They will be able to access a UI interface. And from there, they will be able to upload a PDF document or maybe a doc file. Now, once they will be able to upload it, so it will go inside a S3 bucket. Okay. Now, once data will be available inside a S3 bucket, so you have to even write a script to check if data is new and file comparison. So if a file is new, if file is not processed previously, so then only it is supposed to process a particular file. And after, so while processing a file, so it should use a embedding model. So give me some of the options. I'll choose those options from AWS Bedrock. So that it will be able to process the data, it will be able to convert embeddings, it will be able to even maintain a meta information as much as possible so that my search will be better. It should be able to even persist like a citation. And it should store eventually all of those data into OpenSearch AWS. Yeah. Once it will be able to store all of this data inside OpenSearch AWS. So obviously Just make sure that you are doing all time a data check. So there should not be any kind of a duplicate which should go. So we have to write a middleware for that. Now in this process, it will be able to basically store a data inside a OpenSearch. Then there will be a second pipeline. So where there will be an user interface, a kind of a chat interface you can say, and where anyone can come and they will be able to chat with the system. Yeah, so once a user is going to chat with the system, so it is going to convert a user query into a respective embedding, again with the help of AWS Bedrock images, just like a pipeline number 1. And then it should go to a OpenSearch. It should do like a check. It should do a search, and then it should retrieve a top K result. Let's say top 5 result. After retrieving a result, so you have to write even a re-ranking strategy. So where it should be re-ranking based on the semantic similarity and based on the keyword search similarity in a custom manner. After re-ranking a data, you should send this data to a LLM so that it will be able to give me a final output. So you have to work on this both of this pipeline, and I would like to access my S3 bucket. I would like to access my AWS Bedrock. I would like to access my OpenSearch in an automated mode. I will be providing you a AWS CLI access. I will be providing you a AWS IAM access, and only with the help of IAM access, you have to configure each and everything in an automated mode. So my Bedrock, my OpenSearch, my S3 bucket, each and everything must be configured automatically without any kind of a manual intervention. Yeah. So first of all, you have to create a Claude MD file, and do not start working on the project as of now. Just create a Claude MD file. Once I'll give you an approval, then only you are supposed to start building the project. Okay, sounds good. Let's go. Oh, very long prompt. Provide prompt on WhatsApp. I'll provide Claude MD file directly. Okay, if you're looking for a prompt also, I'm like, fine, let me paste it. So I believe idea is clear with respect to AWS, and I'm assuming that why we are using which services. So I believe that part is also clear, right? We talked about 2 pipelines, right? So one for processing my data and one for querying the data, right? So both these pipelines are clear, and yeah. So what in all services we are using in between. So I think that is also clear to all of us. So if this is clear, I think that's the only clarity that you need. Apart from that, nothing is required, right? If I have to even integrate an agent in between, an agent from a Bedrock itself, I can do that as well, right? So agentic RAG also I will be able to create it, but I believe okay, so now it has created. Let's go and let's try to read out my Claude, and if there will be any mistake it has done. Oh wow, see, whatever I have drawn here, almost same thing it has created. So all thanks to the prompt, obviously. If you're very clear about your thought process, then obviously system is going to behave in that manner. And I believe this is where many of us lags, right? Okay, so legal RAG retrieval augmented generation system with the 2 core pipelines. So document ingestion pipeline, upload, process, embed, and store a legal document. Query pipeline, so chat interface for querying legal document with re-ranking and LLM response generation. Okay. All AWS infrastructure, so S3, Bedrock, and OpenSearch is provisioned automatically via IAM credential and AWS CLI. Amazing, right? The very first part, so baby UI for upload, it will go to S3 bucket, right? And middleware, data plus process, Bedrock, embedding, and OpenSearch for storage. Okay. Chat UI, so query response, Bedrock for embedding, OpenSearch, then re-ranking, and then Bedrock LLM. And then finally, I will be able to get my result. Front-end wise, so React, Vite, or Streamlit, I will try to, I'll say that use just plain HTML, like plain HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Backend API wise Python fast API, storage wise AWS S3, embedded wise Bedrock. It is supposed to use C model option below. Okay, it has given me an option. LM wise AWS Bedrock, C model option below. Vector storage wise OpenSearch service with KNN, fine. Nearest neighbor search. Infrastructure wise, so Boto 3. Basically, it's a library from AWS, which is helping you, which helps us out in terms of accessing the infrastructure. So wherever it will write the script, you will be like able to see that it has done the import of this library for doing that automation, like my entire infra automation from AWS. Document parsing, so Py to PDF, Python doc, unstructured, fine. AWS Bedrock model option, so I can choose Titan embedding for this one. Dimension supports maximum token, native, cost effective, configurable dimension. Okay, for this one also proven and stable, strong semantic quality, support search classification, input type, Cohera, embedding English, Cohera embedding multilingual, multi-language support if needed. Okay, fine. LLM model wise, so Anthropic. I'll not be using Anthropic. I'll have to get an access first. So maybe I'll be using a Titan text. I think that is more than enough, or maybe Metalama 3, 70 billion parameter. I believe this is good. AWS native option, right? So AWS Titan, I can use it. Please select the embedding model and LLM model before begin the implementation. Okay, structure is created, dashboard ingestion. So upload, file uploaded in S3 bucket, this, S3 metadata included upload time, original file name, content hashing, okay. Deduplication middleware, so complete SHA 256 hash to upload a file, check again the tracking index, okay, fine. OpenSearch, processed file index, fine. So it will do the comparison with respect to, so that it is not processing the duplicates, duplicate file. File track, so file has file name, S3 key, processed at, fine. If has already exist, so basically with that respect to hashing, it will be like checking my duplication. I will be handling it. Skip processing, notify user, file already processed. If new, process with the processing. Okay. Down processing, so okay, Py to PDF, nothing new in this. Every time we use it. Chunk text using the recursive character splitting, fine. Overlap 200, good. So each chunk retains source file, original file name, S3 key object, page number, chuck index. Okay, these are the meta. Section header, nearest heading, if level, file has a citation, upload at timestamp. Okay. Generate embedding. So in each chunk bedrock embedding model, store in OpenSearch, index legal document. Okay, looks good. Query wise, fine. Final score, okay, for re-ranking, so it has created a custom formula. So alpha into semantic score plus 1 minus alpha into keyword score, fine. So 3070 it has taken alpha value, which I have like given as an instruction for re-ranking. Construct prompt with the system interaction, send bedrock LLMs, fine. AWS infrastructure setup, it will do S3 bucket, OpenSearch bedrock, okay, fine. S3 bucket name, OpenSearch domain name, I'll not be giving this, it will create automatically. Bedrock embedding model ID, Bedrock LLM model ID, checking strategy, hybrid search, fine, comment, status. Okay, looks good. Now let me give a selection of the model, that is important. So for embedding, let's say I will be choosing something in a middle. Amazon Titan embedding also looks good, 1536, proven and stable. So okay, let's use that. So use this model for embedding, and again Titan model, this one I will be using for a LLM, and use this model for embedding and text generation or LLM. Fine. Okay, so now I start building it. I'll be providing you a IAM access, and the rest you have to name it and you have to control it automatically. Now cooking has started, I think in 15 to 20 minutes at max, right? 15-20 minutes. Now it's 156. 15 minutes, I believe. We will be able to cook this project, and then we'll be able to test this project. We haven't mentioned about the incremental data coming, or missed, or I missed it hearing. Incremental data load I have not mentioned. It will be a file, right? So let's say we are handling a deduplication over there. Please paste the last prompt. It was a single line, right? I have selected the model and I said start. It was not a prompt. Taste basically, TST. So we are cooking, right? Obviously. Tanshu, but in multiple org, especially banks or big four, Cloud is not allowed. Not an issue. Cloud is not allowed. Then client must be allowed. Maybe like a cursor will be allowed. There are other like a tools, and now everyone is allowing it. At least some tools, right? So maybe continue will be allowed. Client will be allowed. So where they can use their own proprietary model. But yeah, they have already allowed some or other. We are actually using everything. Like we are using client, we are using cursor, we are using Claude, we are using continue. I mean, like we are using everything. So I think you have missed RT, right? A person with the name RT, which I can see. So I think you should like check yesterday's class, yesterday's project class, I believe. You should check. So over there, I have used Cloud as well as I have used a client. So client was actually using all the models, Gemini especially, Gemini 3.1 Pro. It was a premium. It was using it from a like a Uri ecosystem. So which is basically like our system, right? And it was building a project. So I have already like, not just demoed, I believe I have already used it. Yes. So I'm like, we have all the alternative, we have all the options nowadays for every kind of a company, customer, and clients. We mentioned about OpenSearch for embedding, and we are selecting. Oh, listen carefully. OpenSearch is basically for a storage. It stores the data and help you out in terms of search, just like a vector DB. So OpenSearch never like convert your data into an embeddings. For embeddings, you need a models, right? So that is the reason. So I have mentioned that use this model for converting any kind of an input into an embeddings, and then eventually storing. We are storing our data into an OpenSearch. This is where OpenSearch service comes into picture. Just like you can comparison wise, you can think as a PG vector, or you can think as a Chroma DB, Bayviet, Pinecone, all sort of a vector database. This is where OpenSearch roles comes in. Which is best, Cloud Cursor? See, both works for me. Cloud Cursor, client, and continue. Everything works for me. So I mean, like now there is no comparison. Yesterday I have used client, right? It was amazing. Literally, it was amazing. And even in class, people have felt that it's better than cursor. And the most amazing part was you are using some model, not on a like a monthly subscription, right? Fixed subscription price. So and even yesterday we have estimated that to create some mid-sized project, you just have to invest like 1,000 rupees, 900 to 1,000 rupees, and then one mid-sized project will be created automatically, right? Which you can go out and then you can try to sell. Maybe you can take some project from your client and say that I will build it, charge them 50,000 or 1 lakh rupees. From your side, max to max investment will be 2,000, 3,000, even with the premium project, right? Build it, deliver it. Gemini 3.1 Pro is not making good Claude. First of all, why you are using Gemini 3.1 to create a Claude MD? That part I'm not able to understand. Bedrock for embedding. Yes, Bedrock provides you a complete model catalog. So yeah. Oh, done. So we have started when? We have started at 156, right? 5 minutes only. Done. So it has created, let me go through the logs, right? So that's a magic of AI. The entire project is built in just 4 to 5 minutes. I told you 15 minutes, right? In 15 minutes, we will be able to run it, test it. All intents passed. Here is a summary, what has been created. So infrastructure, single command provision, everything fine, good. Then backend, admin, frontend to copy, env example. Okay, so first of all, what I will do, I'll go to backend. I'll try to create .env file here, where I'm going to keep all my env creds, and it has given me a template as well. So what and all creds it is like looking for. So env. Now S3 bucket name, fine. It can take domain name. It can take bedrock embedding model wise this one. Then bedrock LLM model wise this one. OpenSearch instance type T3 small. So it is going to spin my T3 small, which is not going to cost me much, 400, 500 rupees, like for a month, right? OpenSearch instance count, only one instance it is going to launch. Like I said, OpenSearch is a DB, right? To run it, you need an instance, right? So it is going to spin that instance. Basically, open is the EBS count, fine, last event stack count, OpenSearch master user, OpenSearch master password. I'll give a password admin at the rate 123456 as okay. This is the password which I will be keeping, so it will be able to take it automatically. The only thing which I have to provide over here is AWS access key, ID, and access key. So let me go here and let me go inside IAM users. I already have my own username. I'll go to basically security credential. I have already shown you this step even like a before. Delete the previous one, deactivate, and my previous access, delete it. Create access key, click CLI access, I understand, next, and then done. So this is my access key ID. So I'll go here and I'll try to paste the ID. So ID is done. And yeah, so secret access. So I'll be like providing that secret access as well. Let me hide it from all of you. Okay. So everything is done. So whatever was required, access key, ID, access key, everything I have given, right? So now everything is done. Okay, so I have provided you all the access, AWS access key and ID, and I have also provided you a password that you should keep for OpenSearch dashboard. Now start like a testing both the pipelines and even create a 5 sample legal document which should be like centric towards Indian civil cases, so that I can use this document for an ingestion, and I will be using this document for searching. So maybe you can search over the internet and download some of those like a civil case, like a PDF document which I can use for a testing. I need 5 such documents. Okay. And see, you can use any model to build a Cloud AMD, right? But why you're doing it? I mean, like Cloud AMD is required in a cloud environment only, right? I don't see NV file. Oh, okay. It was the same, right? Yeah. Maybe I haven't saved that. Okay, let me create backend. Oh, inside backend I had created. Fine, I'm moving it. Okay, so now you have a env file. I start working on it. Let me paste this one. Not start working. I use the same prompt. So we can directly start by making a PRD. Yes, yeah, PRD will be a good starting point. So to spin this OpenSearch for the very first time, it takes around like 10 minutes, you can say. OpenSearch takes time. I mean, like rest of the service, I'm like S3. It will not take time. I mean, like just have to like configure it and then start create a bucket, the bucket name which we have given, and then inside that bucket, so it will start loading the data. So that is not a time taking process. Even like bedrock configuration, not a time taking process, but this open search, so that is a time taking process because it is going to spin my T3 micro instance, and after spinning it, it is supposed to like download and deploy all those services inside it, and then it will give me my URL, a domain URL basically. And with the help of that domain URL, I will be able to access my OpenSearch in a UI interface. Okay, so S3 bucket created successfully. However, this has reached, what happened to that? This has identified the available model. Okay, it will find. So now it is checking my bedrock and it is trying to list down all the available models for text and embeddings. Okay, has changed. So fine guys, anyone who is building, anyone? Yeah, in a chat please. Okay, Afifa is doing it. Tech Euron. Who has joined with the name Tech Euron? I think you should change your name. That's our name. Oh, Dhruv. Oh, okay, fine. Got it. Oh, you have joined. Okay. So only 2 people are building in a class. And what about others? Right? There are hundreds of people. So why everyone is not building it? I'm also fine. It's cooking. Okay. Okay. So instead of calling it vibe coding, we can call it cooking. I mean, like, yeah, it's literally feel like cooking basically, and we can cook multiple things together. I mean, like, I can open up the like multiple VS code, one with the client, one with Claude, one with this, that, right? Cursor again, anti-gravity, and everywhere building the projects in parallel. Okay, I joined later. We'll do it tonight. Fine. Using this skill to work on other projects side by side. Great. So see, even in an interview, like we were talking about yesterday, so people are going to talk about these components, right? So where you have used, let's say, bedrock. It's a, you have mentioned bedrock inside your resume, right? So obviously people will say that, okay, fine. So which model you are able to access, what kind of an agent you have built, what kind of a knowledge base you have built, what kind of a use cases you have, or let's say in a reverse order, let's say you have mentioned this legal project, right? So obviously people will ask you a question that, okay, fine, what was the flow? What and all models you have used, which what like a kind of a vector database or search DB that you have used over there, how you were trying to do a checking over there, how you were trying to do a re-ranking over there once you are able to get a data out of like your like a search DB. So all of these questions people are going to ask you around these things, or maybe they will give you a case, right? They will give you a case that, okay, for example, this is one of the case that we are solving, right? A legal document parsing, and that too in a incremental mode, or you can say it should not process the duplicate files. So obviously they can ask you, they can say that, okay, fine, so can you please create a system design for that? Can you please create a flow for that? So that is a kind of a question will be asked to all of you, and they just wanted to check that what and all different services you are aware about, right? In every layer basically. So maybe people will ask you that OpenSearch is fine, but do we have any other alternative of OpenSearch? You can quickly say that OpenSearch is technically a search database, and it search based on the keyword, it searches based on the embedding, it searches based on the hybrid mixture of both, right? So likewise, I can try to use any other database as well. So even I can use a PG vector, even I will be able to use Chroma, Farsi, even I will be able to use Pinecone, a Baviet, right? So these kind of a question alternates basically people will be asking you. Let's say people are asking you that, okay, so let's say in your legal document, I have an image, right? I have a tables. So will it be able to handle the model which I'm using as of now? Or let's say I have a audio file, right? I have a video file. So the model which I'm using as of now, the Titan series embedding model from AWS native itself, will it be able to handle? The simple answer is no. If I have a file in a form of audio, video, or maybe images, I can't use like just this particular model. This particular model has been designed only for a text information, right? So it will be able to work, but it is not a best in a class. It is not best in a category, right? So maybe you can use a separate model for like, basically processing this audio or maybe video, I would say, right? You can try to use it, or maybe you can, go ahead with the recent launch that I have discussed yesterday, practical manner, right? So this Gemini model, Gemini embedding preview, Gemini embedding 2 model, so which will be able to handle audio, video, text, image, everything, one single model. If you are using something from AWS, it will not be able to handle each and everything, by the way. Yeah. So all of this question will be like asked around it, so that they will just try to understand that, okay, so what is your thought process? What is your approach in terms of solving the problem? And how, like knowledge wise, so how much you are aware about the capability that this, because everything can't be done with all the models. That's again a reality. And this is where you and me, people like you and me comes into picture, right? System can't decide all the services automatically. So I said that use S3. I said that use like a bedrock. I said that use OpenSearch. So solution designing approach, people will try to test in the interview. And I believe you are supposed to be very, very good with that. And yeah, so I believe in the same direction, even like we are driving the class, right? Yeah, you can use a PRD first, Akash. And I mean, like, see, you need one document, MD file. So where all of your project requirement end to end, you have explained, right? Or maybe AI has written it, right? So you need at least one file, one MD file with any name, so that AI will be able to take a reference from there. And AI should follow all the time the same files. So even in case of a client, you can keep a file inside .client rule, and then inside that MD files, you can keep it. For cursor, .cursor, for Claude, .claude or Claude MD. Because, writing a prompt again and again is not a good idea. So this is where model hallucinate. It's always better to keep every requirements inside one file, or maybe a multiple files as a like rules, hooks, whatsoever you can say. And then like it will be able to follow the same rule, same logic all the time, same structure all the time, without even like going for the hallucination. Okay, so it looks like it is provisioning, and yeah, like I said, so this takes time because it is trying to spin my T3 micro as mentioned inside my this one, right? So T3, okay, T3 is small, it is trying to like a spin. So this takes time, and inside this, it is going to install my OpenSearch. And if I'll go here, I can check that out as well. So OpenSearch, and it must be like spinning it. So okay, this one is my previous one, view all domain. So this one is up. Okay, it has not started creating the new one. It will do it in some time. Yeah, even this is showing me that it should generally it takes like a 15 to 20 minute. Yeah, 10-12 minute is pretty much now normal. It will take. And it has given me S3 bucket fine. I can go and I can check my S3 bucket as well, whether it has created or not. So S3. So here S3 I can search. Bucket name is legal reg doc. Yeah, so S3 bucket is created. I forgot to mention that it should create a bucket in a AP South, but fine, it will be able to do a cross region. I should have mentioned actually like a Mumbai AP South. So it has created basically like a two folder. One is a document where it will be keeping a raw, and then the processed one. So S3 bucket is done. Has not started this. I think it is US North Virginia, right? By default. Let me check here. Oh, okay. Okay. It has started creating this instance in South Virginia. Okay, fine. Again, not an issue. So yeah, as you can see, it is like creating it as of now. Generally, I spin everything in this Mumbai region, but yeah, any region is fine. Varun is asking also, after the class, can I show what I have given solution to the client so that team will understand a bit more of his client? Not able to understand, Varun. I mean, like team will understand. Whose team will understand? Oh, our student will understand. Yeah, sure. You can do that. Yeah, sure, Varun. Even they will be able to learn some new approach. So just wait for this, and in between, so it has also created a data sample Indian civil case PDF created. So property dispute, contract breach, tenant eviction, consumer complaint, specific also. Karnataka High Court sales agreement, NDRC, fine. Chennai and Tamil Nadu Rent Control Act, Bombay High Court, commercial, Delhi High Court, inheritance. Okay, so where it is keeping my data, let me check. Test infra front end sample document. Oh, amazing. So it has basically loaded a actual file. Is 3, 4, 5. So here, Arun Bhatia, fine. Okay, so this is basically a actual legal, and then there is a order which was passed for that complaint. So this is a real legal document now we are dealing with. Good. Okay, let me check. Still, okay. So this is the last one. This like, okay, it's completed basically. So as you can see, my OpenSearch service, this is the legal RAG that I have created. So now it's ready, and I can basically, this is the URL. So I can click over here, and it is going to give me a sign-in page, right? So where I will be using an ID and password, which I have set at the time of like spinning this one. So admin at the rate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, this one. Yeah. So now I will be able to basically log in. So this is my OpenSearch basically, right? This is my OpenSearch dashboard. I can explore on my own. Yeah. Dismiss. Confirm. Okay, so basically this is my OpenSearch dashboard. So where I will be able to do even a visualization, even as of now, it's completely blank. There is no data set available over here. I can come to this, there is something called as dev tools. I can write a queries over there on other sites. So it will be able to show me the result. It will be able to show me the data. So as of now, nothing is available, it seems. Yeah. So there are like a lot of like option which is available to me for visualization, for dashboarding, basically for metrics, tracing, even notebooks are available. So many features are available, reporting and all. So everything around analytics is available. But yeah, majorly everything is getting populated from the storage side. So the major work or the major roles and responsibility for this open search is to basically make my search like smooth in terms of keyword search as well as in terms of a embedding search, right? Okay, so this is done. Now let me go ahead and yeah. So first document process, 9 chunks created. Let me upload the remaining 4. Okay, so it is processing my document as well. Although I will be able to do it from a UI side, but yeah, it is like. How to do the same project without using a cloud but with the good accuracy, and what type of PC configuration? PC wise, anything will fine. I mean, like for this kind of a project, right? So there is no load on your PC, by the way. So even if you have like i3, i5, I think that will work because load is not coming on you. You are not storing data here. You are not even like executing any kind of a model in your local system. So nothing is happening in your local. I mean, like apart from this small piece of the the auto generation which is happening, that's the only thing, that's the only work your system is doing. So PC wise anything is fine. You can skip the cloud, it's fine. See, in my project session I have already shown like a multiple things, so you can go ahead with client, you can go ahead with anything. That's the reason, so we have released the entire like a URI things, so that you don't have to like go and pay some fixed like a monthly cost, which was a real pain basically. And this is where like Euron, this is what Euron is trying to remove it, and I think we are like successfully able to remove it now. Like so many people are using it in a real time. Okay, so it says that it is able to upload a document into my S3 bucket. So fine, I can go and check. Yeah, so document is available. All 5 documents, all 5 PDFs are available over here inside the document. And processing wise, how many document it has processed so far? I guess directly it is processing, or So my UI is also ready, as you can see, and even from here, so I will be able to, browse a file and I will be able to upload the file. And here, so I will be able to chat with the legal document. So let me go ahead and let me chat with my legal document. In between, Claude is like processing it, so I can open up some of the document, get some context. Civil suit. Okay, so civil suit 1247 by 2023. Give me details about 1 1247 by 1247 by 2023 case. Okay, so server response, my server is not running, it seems. Let me run that. So it's running. Okay, so now console clean. I can go and check my network. And even I can check here. I believe it's not able to call my backend. Let's see. No, I think it's not a correct backend. Some other service is already running there. Mm-mm-mm-mm. It's a different backend, it seems, from my different project. Yeah, it's a yesterday's one, it seems. I mean, like it's running since yesterday. That's the reason so it is not able to hit backend. I mean, like I'm not able to see any 200 over here. Let me terminate it. Yeah. And my Streamlint local URL fine. Last one is 64-page document, still processing. Oh, it's a big one. Stat is not working. Command not found. PID not kill. Let me do this npm install kill port. Okay, so kill port 8000. Process on port killed. Fine. Now run the backend. Still not. Okay, so now here, so the detail about in the case High Court of Delhi at New Delhi civil suit number, this as follows. So case title in a matter of Sri Rajendra Kumar Sharma, so plaintiff versus Srimati Anita Sharma or defendant. So court case number is this, date of decision is this, Judge Honorable Justice Vikram Singh Mehta. Appearance for the plaintiff. Okay, so it is able to do a retrieval, and yeah. So as I have already created a citation, so it is also telling me that from where it is able to bring all of these like a citation. Yeah. So it looks like it is working well for me. This entire like a legal system that we have created, and yeah. So amazing, right? Everyone. So now we are able to build the legal system, basically. 213. Okay, so now this entire legal system is like built. We can test other feature as well, other functionality as well, that other feature functionalities are working or not. So to do that, what we can do here, so maybe we can try to ingest some of the data which is like already available, some of the files, so that even file deduplication issue we all will be able to check it. So here upload a file from D drive, and then this legal system RAG, then we had a sample document, and let's say out of this sample document I will try to ingest this one. So all these are basically a real case. So open and then process the document. So here this has already been processed. So yes, my deduplication is also working. It's not like taking the same file again and again, which is again a requirement for such kind of a system. So now anyone can come and anyone will be able to upload their legal like a document, and then they will be able to, or anyone will be able to basically search it. Or we can try to separate both the interface. So one for uploading, where some special privilege we can grant, some admin control and something that we can grant, and then this interface we can keep it open for the entire world. Come and chat, right? So one people, so they will keep on maintaining it, and this can be like a public portal, right? This can be a public portal, so that they will be able to write some cases, and they so let's say there is some lawyer, right, and they would like to understand the similar kind of a case, right? That okay, so what was the verdict, what was the order basically, what was the cases basically, what was the actual scenario, what was the evidence which was present as a part of that particular case. So any lawyer in that particular category, so they can come over here and they will be able to do like a open search, they will be able to chat it. So I believe this is going to be one of the amazing system, right, that you can build or anyone can build. Fine, everyone, can you explain the agentic pieces we have in this or can be added? Agentic piece we have not added as of now. So it's just like, you are writing a query, it is converting that into an embedding, and then it is going to do an embedding search, retrieving it, then re-ranking it. And then finally, as a part of your LLM output, you are able to see the result. As of now, there is nothing agentic over here. If you would like to write a agentic layer on top of this one, so maybe you can create a agent so which can take a reference and which can go and do a Google search. So Google search agent you can try to write. Let's say I'm saying that, okay, fine. So find these things and mail these things to someone. So again, you can try to build a autonomous agent for that. So again, agent depends upon a kind of a work or kind of a automation that we are looking for. I think that's a definition of the agent, right? So you can try to put up those agents there as per the task. One agent, one task. Yep. Okay. Can we lead AWS resources in the same manner by adding prompt? Again, I think, I don't know why some people are not able to understand. So it's not a prompt basically. It's a code which has been written over here and code is handling. So it's not just a prompt, right? So it's for setup, for like a setup S3, for setting up a bedrock, for setting up all these things. You will be able to see a code which has been controlled and like which is actually helping me out in terms of, spinning my bedrock or setting up my S3, each and everything, right? And there is a bot3 library, so which is from AWS. So which helps you out in terms of doing all such kind of a automation. So yeah, you can give a prompt and maybe you can say that build a service for me. So where I can go and I can terminate this particular S3 services, right? And with the proper privilege, you will be able to do that. Yeah, so that is doable. That is doable. Basically, see, it's all about your IAM access key, nothing else. So with the help of proper IAM and privilege for that particular like a user access, you can control anything on AWS. As simple as that. Anything means literally anything. Okay, so looks like it's like working well for me. Yeah, and yeah, even it has given me the complete things that it has processed. So it was able to process even 148 pager document. That's fine. I mean, like it was just a checking that it will do. Yeah. Now I can ask that give me a command for searching inside the OpenSearch document by using a dev tool. So basically, it will give me some get command, and that get command to search all the documents, search a particular piece of the document, even search a queries. So with the help of these command, what I can do, I can try to go to my OpenSearch, this one, and then inside a dev tool, so I can give a query and it will be able to pop up the result. Okay, so it has given me all of these queries. So search match all without embedding, fine. So yeah, I can just like execute and it will be able to so these are something which has been processed and which has been stored, right? This is something. So you will be able to see all the stored data as well, and the way it is storing the kind of a citation or the kind of metadata it is able to manage, or it is storing everything. And again, this is coming from your code. So if it is there inside a code, this structure is coming from the code itself, right? The structure that we have already defined. So everything you will be able to check and everything you will be able to find out even inside a OpenSearch. Even you can write a query. So it has given me some sample, right? Consumer protection compensation. So it can go and it can try to search whatever is available with respect to the consumer protection compensation and will give me the result. Yeah, so it was quick, right? Very quick. So yeah, this is something data which is available with respect to a consumer protection. So then we do some sort of a validation. Yeah, some sort of validation we used to do, and if everything works well, then we just have to everything is in production by the way as of now. My S3 is ready, right? So my data is getting stored inside my S3 bucket. So my model is there on a bedrock, and my DB, basically my search DB is already open search basically. So S3 already live, anyone can use it. My DB already live, anyone can use it, and my basically this bedrock from where I'm able to consume the model, so that is also live, right? Everything is on AWS. So my only front end and back end, which I'm running as of now in my local, so that is the only local thing that I have. I can simply migrate it on some cloud platform, maybe on AWS or maybe some low cost cloud platform as well. For example, Render or something, right? So I can try to like send this entire things on a Render. Everything will be live. Yes. So the only thing which is running in my local is only my front end and back end, the application part, right? S3 is already live. My model from where I'm consuming the model, embedding and LLMs both. So it's already from AWS, and my DB is also inside AWS. Simple, right? What will be the total cost of the complete project running on AWS? How many concurrent requests this can handle? Okay. So maybe we can create a estimation chart over here. I'll just ask to create a rough estimation chart. Okay, so now you have to create like a monthly cost estimation, plus you have to even give me a estimated number of concurrent hits or concurrent query that I can try to make. So give me an estimation for like 1,000 people on average, like searching or doing 50 queries per day, and give me a full cost estimation in INR. So create a cost MD file and mention all the details inside a cost MD file. Okay, so it will give you cost estimation as well. So for these small data, RAG works well. It's not a small data, right? It's a huge data. See, for any RAG to work, two things is required. How good, the very first thing is how good your embedding model is. The model that you have chosen, how good that embedding model is. That's a very first priority for any RAG. Second, the DB. So how good that DB is in terms of performing a search operation, in terms of handling like, a huge amount of the data. And that DB depends upon your instance. Again, so because to search anything, obviously it requires a compute. If your compute itself is very low and you are saying that it should handle a terabyte of data, it is not going to handle. As simple as that. So only two things, DB and your LLMs and embedding model. And yeah, in case of like LLMs, choose the latest one. In case of DB, you should always go ahead with the high instances if you have such requirements. Then you can build any perfect RAG system. Yesterday, which I have discussed, right, that model is actually very amazing model. So, the model that we are using over here, the Titan model for embedding and for like LLMs, it's actually not good. I mean, like with the complex data, like a multilingual, I mean, like it is not going to perform well. It's and again, very old model now. So my advice to you will be for embedding, if you are building RAG application, for LLMs, you can use any LLMs, even the old one. That's not like a much of like my concern at all for LLM side, right? The main is like an embedding part in case of RAG application building. If you are not taking care of that, then everything will go for the toss. Okay, so now it has given me a cost based on some sort of a like estimation. So let me open up this cost MD and let's check. So parameter wise, total user, let's say 1,000 per user. I have already given this input, right? That 1,000 user, and per day, let's say they are like making 50 queries, right? So total query per day is going to be 50,000. Total query per month is going to be like 15 lakh, right? So this is the input. Obviously, it requires input for doing any estimation. Working hour per day is 8 hour. Average query per second is basically on an average QPS based on working hour. Let's suppose I'm building some system for India, right? So on an average, user will not be like coming to my system at night 12 o'clock or 2 o'clock. So in a working hour itself, in general, majority of hits will come on my machine, right? The machine which I'm trying to build. So average query per second is basically 1.74 based on this working hour estimation. Per query per second is going to be 8 to 10 QPS query per second. Estimated concurrent connection is 10 to 20 as per this estimation which I have given for month wise. New document uploaded per month, let's say 500 document we are uploading. I told you. So one cost will come on document upload also, right? Because it will go for like upload means it will go inside the S3. So S3 cost. Again, it will like process it with the help of embedding cost. And eventually you have to keep on increasing your OpenSearch instance as well. So yeah. Average document size like 20 pages, 500 words. So fine. Average chunks per document 50, let's say, and total stored chunks is basically 25,000. Good. AWS Bedrock. So how much cost it is going to give me for these two models, the models that we are using. So query embedding pipeline number 2. So 0.10 per 1 million input tokens. So it is going to give me around 630. Document embedding. So yeah, query embedding is one, and then document embedding. So whenever user will come and do a query, which is part of pipeline number 2, right? So there will be a cost, and again, this cost will be estimated based on this many number of the query per month. As simple as that. So cost will be 630 rupees on an average, based on the actual cost as of now. Document embedding, so one-time job, right? So again, it will be like this one, 42 rupees. So cost USD 5 million, this 500 document into 50 chunks. Fine. On an average, it has already derived the 50 chunks per document. So based on that, 42 rupees you will be able to get. So total breakdown 172 rupees per month. So in terms of one-time processing, you are not getting much of cost, but yeah, recurring cost will be more. So 672 rupees on an average, $8. Now AWS Bedrock, again, so LLM model, right, that we are going to consume. So that is going to cost you around LLM wise. So LLM in USD 21,546, which is too high because we are processing 15 lakh, right? 15 lakh query. So that means number of output when search and then output, and then LLM will try to like fine tune it, and then it will be able to give you the final output. OpenSearch, right? So as of now, T3 a small search we are using, which is having 2 vCore CPU and 2 GB of storage. Let's say monthly 730 hour it will spin. So $26, EBS is going to cost you $1.6. So total cost is 2,340 rupees for your OpenSearch. 42 rupees. Recommended production setup for 1,000 users. So without dedicated master, 16,000. If like you are not creating a multiple node over here, with a dedicated master, 475 USD, which is eventually 39,000. So one instance, 16,000, it is going to give you a cost. 2 instances, like 39,917 is the cost. Done? The cost estimation part. Cache can be implemented here for the fast processing and repeated queries. Yes, yeah, you can implement. Obviously, like Redis and like Elastic Cache, we try to implement it always whenever we send a system to a production. So that's like Cache, CloudFront, all those things is our default things. By default, when you are designing the system, you should implement it. You should create it. Yeah. So it has given me like a beautiful optimized production cost is somewhere around 15,000 for like a 500 document and 15 lakh queries. So 15 lakh means 1.5 million query per month. And in the same proportion, I mean like your cost will increase if you will be having a, so cost per 1,000 query is this much. So now you can even derive your business model, maybe 15-20% margin on top of it. And then, you can derive it. Query basis. So you can give like a pay per use basis basically. So if you are hitting this many queries, this many things, so this will be the cost. And in that way, it will be like a very small cost. So I think around this, you can go and launch something. Yes, everyone? Done? Any other question for me? I think we are able to build a beautiful system over here. Right, a practical one basically, which is really required in every country, right? Every like everyone needs it. Every legal, even normal people, right? So let's say why I should go and like pay legal money initially, right? So maybe I can go to your system and I can do some sort of a query that this is my case. Can you please tell me some sort of a reference case with respect to my cases, and maybe you can try to study just by chatting to your system. That's it. Yeah. So that's actual beauty of this entire project. Now let me push this entire project into a GitHub repository. If you would like to deploy, you can deploy it also. I can automate that part as well. Let me check my git ignore env pn. This is there. Okay, it will not check in these files. Good. So let me push this inside a repo. It's again amazing project, amazing use case, you can say. Maybe you can launch some startup and monetize it immediately. You just have to hire one junior intern and who will be doing the investigation. Maybe junior legal intern. It will not cost you more than like 8 10,000 per month. Who will be like, accumulating all the document and then uploading it. You can even automate all those like a historical things in some way. Like it will go to Google, search everything, and then start ingesting it. So that's again, it's a very good idea. Maybe some of you can try this out. You can sell this solution to someone. Legal RAG AWS. Create repo. Setting. Collaborate. Code. Okay. Now let me push the code. Branch. Done. Okay, so everything is available. Let me create a README file as well. Okay, so create a README file with all the project detail and instruction to execute this project. So now let me ping you this one. You all can take a pull. Yeah, so repo is available, guys. Okay, so now let me go and terminate my instances. Otherwise, it will give me a cost. Amazon OpenSearch service. Where is my dashboard? This is done. My S3. Legal RAG doc 2026. Okay, so my S3 bucket is deleted, and even this will be deleted. I believe still okay. It will be. And I have one more in a Mumbai region. Any general queues to cross check for any resource is still there. Yeah, I can cross check, but there are already a lot of resource which I'm like using it, so that will not work technically for me. So already a lot of like a production load is running on this one. Okay. So fine everyone, tested the project. Maybe you can try this out from your side, and you can try to test it. Let me delete my access grids as well. IAM and user. Okay. So fine everyone, everything is deleted. So I think there was someone, right? Push readme. Okay, readme I haven't pushed. Okay, it's done it seems. So fine, git add. Okay, done. Hmm. Fine. So yeah, everything is like done. Your readme is available in detailed manner. You can use this link. Okay, so I think there was someone, right, who Varun, I believe. So Varun told me that he would like to present his project. So yeah, Varun. Yeah, I'm adding you as a in a panelist. Yeah, Asit, please go ahead. And Varun, please join like this panelist.
Yes. So sorry to hear me.
Just a minute. Okay, I'm promoting you as a panelist, Varun. Yeah, Varun, I can hear you.
This is it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so of course, I had a few questions. So that's why, as you remember, a few months back, I told you now, it's a similar kind of project we implemented in our customer, right? Legal one. So, but we have not done. It took not one day. It took us 6 7 months. Year back.
So either
And
either a strategy is wrong, maybe team is bad. I don't know what went wrong, but I think you can tell me about it. Why it took 7 months of time? Because ideally it should not.
Yeah, it took because we do the all the research and all things initially, right? So then RAG we have not done that, and so we get more problems because of this accuracy one.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that's what it took, and we started with one thing I don't know why you use the bot. Something use the bot right here.
Yeah, bot is basically a library from AWS. So basically, with the help of it, you will be able to access. I mean, like, let's say if I have to access a S3 bucket, right? So it has to write the automation. So basically, bot 3 is a AWS own library. So basically, it is giving you like all those methods by which you will be able to access all the resources with the help of your IAMs or credentials.
Okay. Okay. This whatever we built currently today. So how you are confident that the accuracy level of this?
See, accuracy will not drop. I can give you maybe a 99% confidence on that if I'm going to just change the model, right? And little bit of like a tweaking. That's it. With 99% confidence, it will give you a very accurate result. Even in this situation, it will give you a very good result because OpenSearch is very good for a search and like especially hybrid search or maybe keyword or maybe a vector search. But yeah, it doesn't depends upon just a OpenSearch capability. It depends upon your embedding model capability as well. So if I'm going to use a model which I have already shown you yesterday, right? Believe me, blindly you can push the system inside the production and people can start using it. See, even this system is not failing. I have asked some question and it was like able to give me answer, right?
Yeah, so see, there are two type of, one is open-ended and closed-ended, right? So sometimes it maybe give the closed-ended answer, but when you also summarize or when you also very difficult questions, right, with the chain of thoughts kind of, then it start failing. That my experience because we use the same Titan and all things.
Chain of thought in terms of chain of thought.
Yeah, so very high level prompt you will give. It will do break this to different levels, right? Then it will execute. Right?
Yeah, this is what. Yeah, that's what. That is a known problem statement. That is not a something new. That happens with all the RAG system. The major culprit over here is the embeddings.
Yeah, so I'm thinking a bit differently. Here this how we solve it. We solve it using the graph, right? Using. So why we did this because in the chunk, right? If a document multiple doc.
I think we lost your voice.
This is a different kind of also relationship between those different chunks. So then we found that it is failing or getting sometimes.
Exactly. See, no. That is not a proper approach to build it. See, at the end of the day, so with the help of graph, so basically you're creating a multiple nodes and defining a relationship between multiple nodes by using couple of parameters. That's it. This is what you're trying to do. Nothing else.
No, it works with VectorDB.
Exactly. I mean, like vector DB, but graph, if you're trying to implement. So at the end of the day, there will be a node which is holding information, and then there is a relationship you're trying to establish between one and another node, right? With the help of some parameter itself, nothing much, right? So here, what if I can try to increase more of meta information, right? Meta information parameter, and maybe I can try to increase more of citation over there. I think in that case, I will be able to solve even a complex one.
Yeah. So this maybe that is one case, but for legal or medical kind of right thing, there are a lot of accuracies needed, and somewhere they're using this ontology and taxonomy. Every details of the keywords, right? They need kind of the way we design the RDBMS, right? Entity relationship diagram. Here also they need that kind of things with the business logic and all those classes and all things will be defined earlier so that you can automate it later on. Just it will automatically create your queries so that query, cipher query kind of, and you can put it in your.
I think yeah, most of the time I feel like we used to like unnecessarily make system complex when something can be solved in an easy way. See,
according to us, it's a conflict, but customers sometimes for the accuracy they need that.
Obviously, see, accuracy can be achieved in a multiple way. Doesn't mean that I will implement more layers and then it will give me more accurate result. No, that's not true, right? So I don't follow that kind of a design approach all the time. But yeah, I mean, like if you have some real case, you can bring it to me. I can show you like accuracy over there itself.
Yeah,
right. I'm pretty much confident on that side.
real cases, and I also shared few
Yeah.
things that I think it may be.
Real case, real data, right? And just tell me what was the previous accuracy that you were getting, and I can improvise it with the simplicity.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
Thank
Varun,
you.
Varun, go
Just
ahead.
quick question.
Yeah, Anil,
Quick
please
question,
go ahead.
Siddharth.
Yeah, Anil.
Yeah. So what I analyzed from here is that if we are given a requirement, a full requirement of business analyst gives the requirement, and you give to the IDE or Cloud A or so we creates a whole product.
Hmm.
I got it.
Hmm.
Ah,
Hmm.
the same thing that is for the new virtual product from the scratch,
Hmm.
which
Hmm.
it is designed.
Hmm.
Now
Hmm.
already we in our company already we have a GitHub source. Okay, and client wants new requirement or enhancement of the work. So we haven't done this experiment. I think it can do it, but my question was that if we give a direct GitHub link and give a prompt saying that this is the new requirement, add on this, will our AI will read our existing code and do modifications?
There is a
That's
very,
the only question.
yeah, it will do it, but there is a very high chance that I mean, like, it will end up creating something, or it will end up doing something which you don't want, or maybe your client don't want, or maybe it will end up disturbing some of your existing module as well. And that is not a correct approach. That is the reason. So we try to create a rule files, we try to create a MD files for all the features that we try to build, so that AI will be able to understand first of all the context what you are trying to build, which file it is supposed to touch, which file it should not supposed to touch, each and every kind of instruction, rule, guardrails, everything we try to give it. Then only we try to build it. It's not like you will just download the repo and start like giving a prompt blindly.
But human intervention should be there. Human brain should be there to judge it whether it's correct or not.
Human brain is even here, like you have to like give all the instruction and what you are building basically line by line. For example, we have built two pipeline, right? So I have given a very clear instruction that this is the pipeline, this is the tech that you have to use, this is the tool that you have to use, this is the feature I'm looking for, like a file deduplication or something, right? So and then once it will be able to understand that, then it will be able to build it. It's just like giving a clear instruction to your, like, juniors. If you will go and say your juniors that build RAG pipeline, and if you're not giving instruction, so they will just go pick any tool and they will start doing some random job, right?
Yeah, got it. Got it.
As simple as that. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Thanks. Yes, Varun, I think you can go ahead. You can share your screen.
Okay, thanks, Sure.
Yeah.
Hope you can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes. Yes.
Okay, so before I share something, let me give some information about what kind of use case we are working. The client which I'm working is from basically it's like the sanitization products they have. And already they have created a small POC which they individually created, and now they are looking for the scalable solutions. So it's like everything they are like completely they want to have it in the local, nothing on the cloud mostly. And they have multi-language, France, German, UK, and Spain, I think something is there. So based on this one, what we have got is they have their own expectations because they were working on a very limited infra. Then they want to look at the updated versions of the other things. So we have given two things: what they expected, what we are providing the solutions. Let me share the screen before that one. Sure. Cool.
No, I think I have allowed you, so you can share the screen. Yeah, your screen is visible
Let me
now.
know when you can see the screen. I'll show you two things, Sudhanshu. One, which I'm working for the company, the other one, which taking knowledge from you and what I'm working on. So, okay. So, so this is the current architecture what they have. So whatever it is comes, they have the I just highlight that company name. Just for in case because a lot of people are coming from the same organization of this portal, so I thought okay. They have this one Chrome extension. It is like a chatbot and with one fast API they are connecting, and they have the Llama. They are using the Llama and Quen, and for the parsing the data they are using the document. And the parent and vector EV, they are using it, and this this is a very basic architecture, and they were able to handle somewhere around 10 to 15 users only. Now they want to move that to the 200 plus to 500 kind of users. So what they are expecting is something like this, and they want to have it more infra, so that each and every API speaks for something else, and at the same time, everything should be monitored. So they already have the readies for the cache and all, but it was not utilized 100%. So taking all this into consideration, what we have given the solution is, this is a final architecture where we have put it in an API gateway so that they can do authorization. And why we are doing this one, again, the users are coming from the different locations, and so that the data leakage should not be there. We have taken into consideration, and the load balancing, whenever anyone is coming for the, especially for some API, so we are doing it. And in the RAN, I'll take you to that part in the next image. So this is a small architecture, and as we are using the document here, right, from yesterday's class, what I understood that now the Google Analytics preview is that we don't have to use that. Now tomorrow's call, I'm going to suggest that if they are okay, then okay. Otherwise, they want to have it, then I'll keep the same.
That's amazing.
And rest everything, the Ulama, they want to have everything in the local. So there is no scope, or I had asked everything that, okay, why are we not doing? They simply set up the cost and the privacy. So those are the two things. Then how we are connecting those things, or everything is monitored. Apart from this, only in the all monitoring things, and including guardrails, the presses, red buff for the prompt injections and all those things. I kept it there. And along with that one, the graph now, because so that they can analyze each and every how much cost it is getting.
Logs basically, yeah. It looks good actually for me. Like, yes, almost all the major component for like diverting a traffic, it's available over here as a load balancer. Locally, you are hosting a model, and the Llama 3.2, 3 billion parameter model you are using. You can even go with a Mistral. Mistral is a good one, which is open source, right? So you can try to use that one.
I know they strictly they want to have this one.
Quadrant vector DB, you are trying to use it, fine. Embedding wise, just try to use like the embedding model that we have discussed today. I think that will give you a lot of advantage. Although it's not available as an open source, but yeah, I'm like, if you are building a system, so I think you should consider it like like that particular model. Rest is fine. Your cache is implemented between your DB and your like graph DB Neo4j that you are using, and your model layer, fine. And monitoring pipeline Prometheus Grafana, you are already using it. So yeah, that's good.
Thanks for the input.
And anyhow, I can see like a Google Cloud stack, right? So I don't think that your team will be having any problem in terms of consuming, Gemini model. You have.
That's the reason I want to push that Google. So the next one, the one which I'm talking about is an AIML layer. Yeah, this is how the one which I'm sorry. This is a data integration. This is the orchestration layer. How it will come. Because they are looking especially for the three APIs. One is for the draft, one is for the summary, and one is for the summary, draft, and one is like chat as assistant. So all these things, it comes whenever the user gets in.
So Asit is having one question, Varun, for you. So why you are using where you are using this graph DB or Neo4j in the previous architecture? So what?
Okay. This one, right? Why we are using the DB here? Because they already have the images which are getting captured, and the relevant images, and the knowledge of the use case, right? The similar kind of the use case. So they want to have the track. If at all they have the similar use case, if at all the historical cases are there, they are storing there also. So to retrieve that one. And as we already know, apart from the hybrid search, the vector DB and the other vector search and the keyword search, if we add the graph DB also. That
for raw information, I assume.
Exactly. So.
For showing the raw information, right?
So So there is two things. So just I'm recalling. So they say one is unstructured data, one is structured data. And then for unstructured data kind of PDF is a very good factor, right? But when there is a structured data is coming a bit enterprise structured data, then companies preferring to go for the GraphDB. That's what till now my understanding, and it processes the data very quickly. Faster than the graph normal like, right? We keep the answer and with the very accuracy. So that's what my understanding. But a lot of people are not using or not aware of this, and mainly what I see that in the healthcare space or in the legal space, right? So a lot of customers are coming with this request. So
See, Neo4j is not a new one. Even GraphDB is not a new one. I think it's a 10, 12-year-old things. But
no,
yeah.
but it is not new one, but they integrated agents and they integrated LLMs. That is a new one.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like nowadays everyone is doing it, so fine.
No, if you see the market, like, it is a now very hot space.
Okay.
So just I say a few things with you.
So I think Varun is
Thank you, Varun.
Varun is using it for storing this raw information, right, Varun?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Whatever information, structure or unstructured.
To be very frank, Ajay, the point which you have raised is absolutely correct. But putting that into the consideration, I take that one. But apart from this one, the project I got assigned in the last week, from last couple of days, I have to sit, understand the entire documents, listen to a lot of videos, the kickoff meetings and all. Then I came to this solution. So I still need some time to go in depth of the code. How the code base is built on the earlier POC, then why they use the GraphDB there. I have to go into the tech. It will take some time, but whenever I come to the next time present, I'll definitely give you an answer on that.
Okay. So to understand and build this architecture, right? How much time it needed? You took for it?
See,
Is it
with the help. No, for understanding reading all the documents line by line, each document, the PRD, it was more than 50 pages, and similar kind of documents, the discussions happened already. So it was somewhere around 7 documents, and each document consists of almost 30-40 pages. So I had to understand those things to put everything into the ChatGPT so that I can prepare. I cannot do all these things in my office laptop, so I had to get it back to the my personal laptop. Then I create here or do a lot of brainstorming to the AI. Yes, it took a couple of days to put it in place, and once it is done, I got the approval from the client yesterday, day before yesterday, and now I have to prepare a proper architecture diagrams to how to take it forward.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So let me take it forward. Sorry, I'm taking much time.
Not an issue. Yeah, I think we all are learning something. So this kind of things are required.
Okay. So this is the input layer. What we usually the front end. What it will look is usually we get the image with the attachment. That attachments might be the images or any previous conversations what happened. That will be one of the things. Then the chats will be there. The attachment documents that will be putting that one. And once it is coming for the classifier. Routing agent, it will decide which one it has to go. Whether if it has to go to the summary, just look at the previous history and go to the summary. Once we get the immediate email draft, it will be created so that they don't have to wait for the summary. As and when the webhook created the email triggers to the inbox, it will start looking into the previous history and it will create the generation. Creating a draft for the response. And considering all these cases, the chat agent will be there, they will be looking into the and all this in a part of the RAG again to the under the code. They will be in entire knowledge-based systems, and these are the policies what they want to do it and whether these policies, understanding the agents, the validations, all these layers are connected in usually. Then again, those are again coming from the knowledge base. This is like an entire AI/ML layer. So this is good for the understanding. Sudhanshu,
Yeah, I think it's pretty much clean and good. I can see all the layers. I believe there is some question from a couple of people. There is Akash or RT. They're asking question. If you can look into the chat. So let me read it out. Yeah, I think you can read it out.
Please.
So basically, Akash is asking question that Varun, is it already developed by a team or you developed using agents?
Yeah, I am developing. There isn't a team. There isn't a team, but I have to give them an idea, right? How you have to. I'm sorry to put you in this one, but being an architect, you will be not working on the code, bro. Okay, you will be working on multiple projects side by side. At the same time, your idea that is more important rather than now everybody is using cloud and all, but how it has to move, whether the cursor moves or how it has to be framed, that is more important. There. Correct me, Sudhanshu, if at all.
Exactly. I mean, like, see, writing a code, I mean, like, which was done by like a SWE 1 or 2, well, I think it's gone, right? If you are able to configure your Cloud or cursor or maybe like a client or something in a proper manner, and then obviously if your architecture and layers are already defined, because this is where the main human in loop comes into picture. If the kind of a documentation, the kind of a layer, the kind of a technology Varun has shown to us in our architecture diagram, and even when we use it inside the class, if that is not defined, then I mean, like, what cursor will do? Nothing. It will like behave like a dumb developer, and then it will just start spitting some sort of a random code for random system. So yeah, that's the main task, and I believe we all are supposed to like align on this layers, even as a junior person, right? If you think that as a junior person it's not your job, so I think you are doing a blunder over here, because now the expectation has completely changed. So yes, yeah. RT, RT is having question. So output is either email attachment as a summary and chat response. This is his question.
As I said, there will be no output for three APIs. One, it is go for the summary. One, it is go for the draft. And it is chat agent. That internally will come within the customer portal. They have their options so that they can directly integrate that with the URL and they will go.
Yeah. Sumit is having one question. So we can use multi-model rather than LLM and vision model separately? Any thought? Multi-model rather than using LLM and vision model separately? Any thought? Yeah, even that is my preferred choice. But yeah, before using any models, right? So try to look into its benchmarking. I think benchmarking will tell you all the stories, right? If benchmarking is good, opt it. If benchmarking is not good, so maybe you can. And if you have a multiple task, right? So then task wise, you can choose the model. That's my advice to everyone basically, right? Let's suppose if I'm trying to solve some video problem, and instead of going ahead with multi-model, because see, multi-model, obviously multi-model means multiple capability. But again, for every category of the task that particular model can perform, they have already given you a comparison, they have already given you a benchmarking. So there is a possibility that it will work well with the audio, but not with the video. So in that case, I should not like go ahead for video for that particular model. Maybe I can use other. I mean, like, we should always like think about it.
Yeah. Just to add one more point on that, as they were using everything on the self-hosted, right? So there is no fallback strategy there. So I asked them to what is the fallback strategy, then I had suggested that okay, you can use in case this model is not giving that confidence level, then you switch on to the tool. So that isn't part of the discussions what we have.
Okay. Great. So yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I think there is no question. We can go ahead. Yeah.
This is the CDS data integration chart. Usually, still we have a doubt whether we will get the only access to the API or directly to access to this one. If at all how we are getting those things, then we are not changing any data structure because it's already built, and if at all we take this one as okay, do all the grouping of the particular data. If at all the policy documents are coming from the which region, if at all you are putting that one, it will take a lot of time. So to avoid that one, what we have thought is we will be putting that as an adapted data layer adapter, and that will take into along with the metadata. And just making sure that metadata should be there because that has to understand which document is coming from which region, what language it is there, so that the going through all the legacy documents and the cross cross collaboration of the other document or coming to the this one, it will not do that one because just to reduce the hallucination of the model. and giving a clear picture that you have to go with this understanding, then you have to. So taking docs, policies, templates, already in use cases, all is getting corrected and it will go to the agents. So this is one of the things which I have done. Just I thought it will be helpful for everyone to understand how the system will work in. The other question, are we developing everything from creating an agents or on? The apart from the office work and said, right, I'm working on some other things. So I'll not tell you what kind of use case I'm working, but I'll show you that how it is working. But trust me, it is in the almost final stage. Once it is there, you this entire platform in the first person, I'll be showcasing those things. So this is a high-level architecture overview, and I'm creating a multi-agents where it will do with the help of the agents, you will understand what kind of use case I'm working. So the tech stacks, everything, cost estimations, everything, it will work. The secret layers, what I'm keeping into, and what kind of the tools I'll be using it, everything it is there. Let me show you my code also. Almost everything is there, everything is done, just I'm in the final stage. And just to keep...
So you're launching your own startup?
No. Okay, let me disclose that now.
Okay.
Now, people like me, I have a lot of ideas, okay? I want to create something like Excel kind of thing, where the screen will be there. You have the boxes. As and when I input the data there, it has to create the graphs out of that one. It has to give the insights out of that one. But totally, if at all it is a 4x4 kind of information also, it has to give the sites. Now I have an idea, but how it will be taken care, I don't know. So this is called the AI Startup OS. You come with an idea, you have to brainstorm with the agent. It will keep on asking a lot of questions. What kind of the cloud you are preferring? If you want to have it in the in-house or it will be a lot of back and forth conversations happen with this one. So once it is there, it will give an estimation, it will give you what are the competitors it is available there. Then it will give you a PDR kind of document. You will ask the agent to create the HDL. It will create the LLD. Everything is right. Now in the second phase of this one, you ask the agent to prepare an entire code base. So that will come with an idea, with a software. This is what my idea is. So I'm in the final stage, need to do a lot of testing and all. So let's see how it goes.
So how accurate it is basically in terms of validating your ideas, giving suggestion and converting that to code?
It is very difficult because a lot of things are there, Sudhanshu, because the code when we are trying to generate, right, there should be an again sandboxing thing there so that the code will not affect the other code also. So I'm keeping all those things into consideration. I know I'm not that good in the coding, but doing a lot of brainstorming with the knowledge which you have shared. So
Okay. So there is a person inside our group named Saurav, right? And so basically he has pinged inside a chat, as you can see, deepminds.ai. Let me share my screen. Maybe I can showcase, or maybe Saurav can talk about it. Saurav, if you want, I don't have any issue. So basically this is something that Saurav is creating, and so he's saying that it's almost same, right, Saurav? We are doing that. We are having R&D team. Okay, that's great. Yeah, Saurav, we are helping scientists who have a patents, I believe. Yeah. Okay, that's amazing. Maybe sometime you can come and you can give a demo, Saurav, to all of us. I think that would be like amazing. And if you maybe we can go live on YouTube and we can launch it. We can try to present it in front of everyone. I don't mind doing that. Yeah. So nice one, Varun. Yeah. So just let me know, Saurav. Yeah. So yes, Varun, there is a people in our community who is like, so idea is fine. Idea is not having any values. It's all about execution at the end of the day. Okay, yeah, I think I was sharing my screen. Let me stop sharing my screen. Okay, yeah.
Okay. Any suggestions or anything from anyone is that would help me to...
Yeah, just build more, build fast, I would say, right? Make it like accurate. Again, if you are planning to go to market, keep it affordable and accessible initially for a people, right? Because that's the very first thing. Because see, we are living in a very chaotic world. I mean, like what happens? We have like for every offering we have like, not 10, I would say. In every country, you will be able to find hundreds of options, right? Yeah, I mean, like if you are able to build fast, if you are able to build a distribution, marketing, and again at the end of the day, once your product will be ready, right? The only thing which matters, believe me, as an entrepreneur, is a distribution and marketing. Even if your product will be bad, I should not say that, but yeah, even if your product will be bad, which yes, people are out there who is not having good product, right? But just because they have a good influence and good distribution, they are able to sell it. As simple as that. So yes, someone said that. I think it was Ambani, I believe, Mukesh Ambani, right? Who said yeah, so like product is fine. I mean, like content is fine, whatever product content that you are building. So maybe that is fine, but yes, distribution is a god. As simple as that, right? So maybe your product is a king, but at the end of the day, distribution is a god. And as an entrepreneur, every one of us should keep these things in mind. There will be very few product, maybe out of like one product out of million product that we used to build, which will be able to find its own space eventually very soon, right? But yeah, it's 1 in million, not in 1 in 100 basically, right? So ratio is, so like there is a very less chance that I will be building some product, so which will be able to find out that space very quickly without even promoting. For example, this claw boat that we have seen, right? Moldboard claw board, that is one of such kind of a product, you can say, right? But yeah, there are like lakhs of other people out there, right? In across the world, not lakhs, I would say million of people out there, million of developer out there, architect out there, who are building a lot of things, right? They're pushing code on a GitHub. But yes, everyone is not able to get same kind of virality. So it always works in that manner. So simple suggestion, if you have to launch your product, build fast, break fast, and then after that, put almost 70% of your effort on distribution side. If you will just stuck in a building, right? Basically, this is what I've seen even with the entrepreneur and including me, right? A couple of years back. So basically, who comes from the tech background, right? They keep on talking about tech, right? And they forget talking about marketing distribution, which is an actual piece of the business, which is going to bring a revenue in your system. So that is what I advise to all the entrepreneur, that distribution is literally a god. So everyone should think about that in a very first place, even before building the product. Yeah. Saurabh is saying, I was working with the interns as a part of my alumni, where I was MBA interns who validate idea. I agree. So yeah. So any one of you, right, planning to start something. That's the reason. So from a very first day, and again, I have seen that people like avoid this like advices, right? Yeah, I mean, like it takes just a 30-second of time, right, to post something that you are working on, or maybe like share the thoughts, share the idea over a Twitter. I should do a lot of tweet. If you'll go to my Twitter, you will be able to find out a lot of like thoughts I used to put up there. Whenever it comes into my mind, even at night, 3 o'clock, I just put it over there. Right, kinds of a personal notebook for me, and then I used to post on LinkedIn and Insta as well. Right, so just try to post, right? Try to post organically. You will be able to get a like-minded people, and eventually those will be the people who are going to subscribe to your product. A first 100 or 200 people, right? You will be able to get from your close connect. If you think that you will run the ads and then you will be able to get leads, and then eventually you will give them a call or maybe give them a demo, webinar, seminar, and then you will build a distribution. I think you are making mistake, right? Things will not work in that way. And believe me, after product launch, a majority of your time should go like there. So think accordingly. I mean, like a day that you have, the time that you have, so you should plan in that particular manner. 70 is to 30, 30% building, 70% marketing. For marketing, whatsoever you have to do it, just do it. Because yes, your product needs marketing. Without marketing, you will not be able to sell even a best of best product. And when I say best of best, I'm not talking about that one out of like a million. So yes, that's the reality. So hope like it makes sense to all of us. Yeah, but yes, it was a nice demo, Varun, by the way. Yeah, and maybe we can go ahead with the Saurabh's demo as well.
Thank you so much.
Okay, fine. Yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks. Take care and see you again. I think today is Sunday, right? So okay, it's not Saturday. Okay, see you again next Saturday. I thought that today is Saturday. Okay, thank you everyone. Take care.